Think of the passion, God love everlasting. Keep the law of the land and book in case you're asking. Moving forward to the learning and it's free. Cause I know that God know the combo go with Sister E. Love talk Sister E, God work Sister E. Charity Sister E, let's talk with Sister E. All different type of information every week. Let me speak, if you subscribe we going deep. Love talk Sister E, God's work Sister E. Charity Sister E, let's talk with Sister E.
Hey family. Hey family. Hey family. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get this mic to sync up with my new computer. This is the first time I've ever used it. So I gotta go figure out why it's not syncing up. Hello. Let me see. Can y'all hear me? All right, family. What's going on? What's going on? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Why is it not syncing up? Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. Oh man. Let me see. Let me try one more thing, y'all, and then we can get started. Shoot. I may have to take this to the best spot for them to look at it. Hold on, y'all. Background noise. Y'all know my house is all not allow me to use the mic. You hear me? I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna have to get it's maybe a driver I have to add to it. How's everybody doing? Let me see. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? My daughter is extremely loud, y'all. Hold on one second. Okay. Hold on. right, y'all. Here I come. Here I come. So, family, what's going on, y'all? I've started my new prep eating because I'm trying to lose some of this weight. So I've been on, like for dinner today, I made some chicken breast and asparagus. I like asparagus. So let's get started with the whole event that happened in the White House. Y'all, I promise y'all, this is the most interesting presidential fiasco we're gonna ever see in our lives. I think this is gonna reshape this country as we know it. It's gonna reshape everything. It's gonna reshape everything. So one thing he's doing is day one, he's gonna push an executive order out. So let me see. Let me go to my video. Executive order for Trump. So, all right, I'm gonna share my screen, and then we can get started. Come on, let's get it started. So, let me do this real quick. Let me go straight to my disclaimer. Here we go. So, this is my disclaimer. Fair use disclaimer. So it says copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for the fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comment, new research, new report. Let me do it again. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. That was the year I was born, y'all. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, new reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So since we've taken care of that, fair use, I got my fair use symbol up here, and let's get it started, y'all.
President-elect Trump kicks off his second term on Monday, and he reportedly has more than 100 executive orders planned for day one in office. From immigration and tariffs to climate and energy, the incoming president is pushing forward his agenda fast and hard. Joining me now, PIMCO head of U.S. Public Policy, Libby Cantrell. Libby, thanks for coming by.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's a busy season for you.
It is very busy, yes.
So President-elect Trump becomes President Trump on Monday. You'll be watching carefully. What are the biggest moves you think will happen on that day one surge? Yeah,
so just as you previewed, we are expecting really a surge of executive orders. If 2017 were any indication, he announced, several overarching executive orders on day one back then, and we're sort of expecting him to do the same. I do think it's going to be around those areas that you just outlined on environmental sort of energy regulation, the sort of drill baby drill, rolling back some of the things that President Biden has done as it relates to the LNG export pause, prohibiting drilling on federal lands and what have you. I think he will also have a series of executive orders on immigration and on the southern border in particular. Now, some of the things, the bigger things like a broader deportation program, he'll need Congress, he'll need funds from Congress. But in terms of really slowing the flow of migrants over the southern border, he can do that unilaterally. And the last thing is going to be on tariffs. And I think that's the thing that the market is really worried about is what is likely to happen on tariffs day one, but then over the course of his first year. And again, that's, I think, what you could see. If you see any market reactions on Tuesday, it will be because of what he did or did not announce on tariffs.
So, as you said, immigration will take a little while, so that probably doesn't have an immediate economic impact. Do you think, can he do anything on tariffs that will have an immediate impact?
Yeah, and so again, it depends on really the scope of what he announces. I mean, I think the lowest hanging fruit, just from a legal perspective, is that he can increase increase tariffs on China. We already have tariffs on about $300 billion of products from China. I think you could easily see him increasing those. Does that actually have a really big economic impact? Probably not. The bigger one, and I think it's a real open question of whether he does this day one or he does it at all, is this sort of idea of a universal tariff, putting a 10% tariff on all countries, on all products. Now, that would probably be inflationary because you don't have the sort of substitution effect. Some of it would depend on how currencies react and what have you. But again, I think that's less likely just because I think that legally that has more questions around it.
And if there were retaliation, presumably that could be inflationary as well.
It can be inflationary and also can hurt growth. I mean, I think this is the thing about tariffs in their extreme. If they're not sort of sequenced, and I think one thing that we could see on day one is his previewing, kind of providing forward guidance, if you will, kind of a Fed speak around tariffs. And so sort of saying that he's going to increase tariffs on a particular country at a particular time if they don't provide some concessions.
You didn't mention tax cuts because that's not really a day one thing, but we know they're on the agenda.
Hey, can y'all hear me? Hit a 1. Something weird happened with my sound. Hold on, let me check something. Let me try it again.
They're presumably extending the tax cuts from Trump 1. What could be different?
Yeah, so as you know, anything that's sort of regarding spending or tax cuts has to go through the U.S. Congress. So it will not be day one. It will be the first year. The end of 2025 is when those Trump tax cuts expire. I think our messaging to clients is that we will see a full extension of all those individual Trump tax cuts. Really, the question is for how long? Is it for 4 years? Is it for 10 years? Are they permanent? I think that is actually on the table as well. That could be costly, could impact the deficit, but the markets would likely react positively to that. I think the big question, though, to your question about what is different is what additional tax cuts we could actually see. I do think that we will see some sort of compromise on the SALT, the state and local tax deduction. Right now, there's a 10,000 cap. I think that could increase to 20,000, maybe 30,000.
New York, California,
for people in New York, and California, we all would love that. And then some additional, like no taxes on tips. And now that's going to be, I think, tailored to specific industries. So people at Barron's or PIMCO cannot just be paid in tips.
So I thought that was just political. A lot of people did. You think he could really do that?
And I think he will do it.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of actually political will to do it on the Republican side. So I think there will be some additional tax cuts. I think the last thing I will just say from an economic perspective is an extension, a continuation of policy doesn't really move the needle in terms of new fiscal stimulus, but because you could see those additional new incremental tax cuts, that actually may, again, sort of provide an upward boost to growth.
We're almost out of time, but real quick, what are the biggest investment implications here? Presumably, possibly at the end of the yield curve?
Yeah, I think for our view has been going into the election and coming out of the election, it's sort of a steeper yield curve, meaning kind of more yield at the long end. I think that may be a little bit less compelling now, given that inflation is coming down, so you're going to start seeing yields come down as well. I think really volatility is going to be the theme now for active managers.
Donald Trump volatility? No way.
No, and again, there's some good and there's some bad. I think it's again a question of scope and sequencing, and then of course how markets react.
Got it. Okay, Libby Cantrell, thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Have you noticed YouTube has way more ads than it used to? Here's how you can block them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm trying to clear my throat. But that's going to be very interesting. I'm not going to say that this is, like I said, I'm going to go to the executive orders. Do they have them listed out? And I had a site that had them listed out. I'm going to it right now. So I'm doing that. One second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I got a message from somebody. Hold on. Okay, so I found the list. So this is what I found so far. And I'm gonna share my screen of some of his executive orders. This is gonna be an interesting election. I'll say that much, y'all. And my voice, I'm talking low because doing all that traveling this weekend has done a work on my voice and my sinuses. So executive orders directing U.S. to withdraw from climate agreement. That's one of the things, and I'll read some of the article. It mentioned Donald Trump signed several executive orders by attending his inauguration parade on Monday. He began signing executive orders and presidential actions on stage at Capitol Arena in Washington, D.C. as thousands of supporters cheered, melding the theatrics of his campaign rally with a formal power of presidency. He froze the issuing of new regulation and asserted his control over the federal workforce and withdraw from Paris Climate Agreement. So that's one of his executive orders. With that executive order, one of the executive orders is to withdraw from Paris Climate Agreement. He signed it on Monday, so that means the deal will blow out, and it says dealing a blow to worldwide effect on combat global warming and once again distancing the U.S. from the closest alliance. So that one is going to be the first one of the first that he signed. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Hello? All right. I'm coming out now. All right, yeah, I'm going to play this video really quick, and then because I got to run outside real quick because I got something they delivering. Day one, executive orders. I'm going to play this video, and y'all enjoy it, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. Let's see. Here's the video that I said I was going to share earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Yeah. Oh my gosh. We skip this ad and then we can get to cracking. Oh my gosh. Come on. My computer is like moving so very slow right now. All right. So yeah. Come on. All right. So this one.
Journalist and author Bill O'Reilly, who's set to reveal new information about the president-elect in a News Nation special this coming Friday night, which we'll get to in just a moment. But first, Bill, good morning. You and I haven't talked since last year. How you been?
Yeah, you've been avoiding me.
Correct.
What's going on there, Marky?
Yeah, I went on a vacation last week just to get away from you. I've been good too. It's good to hear your voice. Looking ahead to Monday, when the sun sets on Monday night, Bill, what changes do you think will have been made in the White House? What promises will Trump have kept on day one, you think?
I'm estimating about 12 executive orders to be signed, maybe more. So the president will give his inaugural address. That'll take an hour, swearing in, then the pomp and circumstance. I don't know whether he's going to walk to the White House. Probably not because of the security. So you would assume he would go into a protected limo over there. And as soon as he gets there, he'll go to the Oval Office. He's got a list, and he'll start to sign these executive orders that have already been typed out. And so it's going to be a big news day on Monday. That's for sure.
That's for sure, from start to finish. But, you know, tides are changing, Bill. I mean, speaking of the inauguration, there's going to be huge names there, including Carrie Underwood, Rascal Flatts. And also, can I just pop up this photo from last night? This was at Mar-a-Lago. If we have this photo, everybody, let's pop that up, of him being handed a Coke. There it is. This is Trump being handed the first ever presidential commemorative inaugural Diet Coke from the company's CEO, Bill. I mean, 4 years ago, big name businesses wouldn't touch him. You know, you'd be called a racist for having ties to him. Talk about the shift that we're witnessing here, Bill.
Well, number one, the president drinks at least a dozen diet sodas a day, which is not good for his health, but he looks pretty robust. I'm actually down 2 weeks ago in Mar-a-Lago, and met your sister. I met Marky's sister, who's a very smart woman down there. And so the companies in America are in business for one thing, to make money.
Right.
And they look at the shifting winds. So 4 years ago, the winds are shifting against Trump, and now they're shifting for him. So here come the companies. That shouldn't surprise anyone. I mean, these are not people in business to be noble. They just try to exploit every situation. Trump knows that, by the way, and privately he makes fun of them. I'm not going to give you any specifics, but
oh, come on, Bill. Give it.
It wouldn't be fair because he makes fun of a lot of them. It wouldn't be. Here's why it wouldn't be fair. If I give you one company that he made fun of in my presence, and I don't give you the other five, then I'm picking on the one company, and it's not right.
Okay.
And we don't have time to go through all the companies he makes fun of. But believe me, he knows what's going on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Speaking of inauguration, former First Lady Michelle Obama not going to be attending his inauguration. What's your read on that one, Bill?
Well, she didn't go to Jimmy Carter's funeral either.
True.
So there's one of two things here. Number one, she is fed up and distraught that Kamala Harris lost. Certainly possible. And just doesn't want to be in public. She just hasn't gotten over that. Or number two, she's basically receding from view to launch her own political career halfway through this Trump term, which I've always felt would be possible for her to do. Remember, there is no leader in the Democratic Party now.
Y'all got my undivided attention. I had to take care of something at my door. This is going to be interesting. So let's go back over the executive order. So let me share my screen. So let's go. Executive orders directing U.S. withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement. So that's one of the things. He's done this again. So he went back in again withdrew from. It says that Trump also signed a letter to the. So right here says Trump's actions after he was sworn in and to a second term echoed his. Let me go back to the top. So I mean, ultimately, y'all know the backstory of that. He did it in 2000. 2000. What year was that? It was 2015 agreement, and then he initial withdrawal from there, and then after that, Biden came back in, got back on it, and then he said, "Nope, we're withdrawing again." So Trump's move to withdraw U.S. from the World Health Organization again. So if you notice, hold on, y'all. A lot of the executive orders, it's like they playing a game of I'm gonna smack you back, pretty much. That's what it feels like. So it seems like that the things that Trump are bringing back are the things that he initially signed off on in his first term, and then Biden came back and reintroduced it. And then he says, "Okay, thank you, but I'm gonna take it back off the list. This is gonna be one of my executive orders." He has pardoned on Monday more than 1,500 of his supporters charged with the crime in the November 6th event. So, and the interesting part, he already said he was going to do that. Among those set to be released from prison are defendants captured on camera committing violent acts on law enforcement as lawmakers meet to certify Joe Biden's 2020 election victory. So that right there is going to be interesting. His next one is executive order keeping TikTok online for now. So if anybody remembers, I look at TikTok. My daughter looks at TikTok. And I knew it's a game that they playing. So here it is, Saturday night, midnight, really 11 o'clock. The executive the entire TikTok platform goes black. Nobody had access to go to TikTok. But I really think with this TikTok thing, they rolled it back because I really think that they're trying to, one, get Musk and Zuckerberg to buy part. I heard 49% of TikTok, and the actual owner and CEO, or the person that actually owns TikTok, I forgot his name, he's gonna keep 51%. That's what I heard, and I really believe that the rollback happened as well because of Americans leaving TikTok and going to Red Note. So to save face and keep people on TikTok so his buddies can make money, I really think he says, let's put a halt on it. So the next one is executive action freezing Biden's action on Cuba. So Trump reversed an executive order issued by Biden that moved to lift the U.S. designation of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism. Biden formally notified Congress last week of his decision to lift the designation as part of a deal facilitated by the Catholic Church to free political prisoners on the island. The day after the announcement, Cuba began releasing people who were convicted of various crimes, including some who were arrested after taking part in the historic 2021 protests, according to the Cuba Civil Group, following the case of who were detained on the island. So I'm gonna play a video on that because I want to delve in a little bit into that. Executive action freezing many new orders by Biden. So Trump issued an order freezing many new or pending federal regulation, and effectively blocking last-minute protection issued by the Biden administration. Such an order is fairly common when a new administration takes over, but it could be the first in a series of moves designed to y'all tap down what the new president and other Republicans have constantly decried as federal overcry. One of the things he said they moved the move recalled the first day of Trump's first administration in 2017. Then he froze all pending federal regulations, effectively suspended Obama-era action that were new or close to implementation. So pretty much what they're saying is that part always happens when they first go into office. The next one is executive action order ordering federal employees back to the office 5 days a week. That's interesting. So he's going to make people come back to the office. But hello? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh my God, my phone is doing the most today. The next one is executive order on the federal hiring freeze. So Trump has ordered a federal hiring freeze on the first day back in office, mirroring an action he took at the start of his first term to try to reduce the size of the government. The order suspends hiring of new positions and many open ones. It includes exceptions for posts related to national security and public safety, as well as the military. During his campaign, Trump pledged to dismantle a federal bureaucracy that he derided as the deep state. The order 8 years ago was intended as a temporary 90-day measure until federal budget officials, as well as those in charge of the government personnel, could devise a long-term strategy for reducing the size of the federal government, and it was effectively lifted that April. How long the latest freeze may last is less clear. It is a drastic step away from the Biden administration, which took steps to increase federal workforce and pay raises in its ranks. So one of the things I heard that he's trying to dismantle IRS. Man, let me tell y'all something. Now, if he dismantled them, I'm cool with them. I'm so sick of IRS, I don't know what to do. So if he does that, but he is talking about decreasing the head count. Deep state, that's interesting. Y'all know what? This one right here is going to change the entire game with the whole thing dealing with this gender thing. So rescind the total 20 the Trump rescinds 2021 title. I think that's 9 order. Trump rescinded a 2021 order signaling the Education Department would use Title IX to protect against discrimination based on gender identity and sexual orientation. So the Biden administration later went further to submit that interpretation into federal regulation, but it was overturned after Republican-led states challenged the rule in federal government. Rescinding the 2021 order won't have much effect on schools and colleges, but it is clear that it clears the slate for other actions by the Trump administration. Trump has also rescinded a COVID-19 era executive order directing federal officials to give school guidance on reopening during the pandemic. So really right now, that 9 order is and we'll go into that too as well, because this whole gender and sexual orientation thing is going to play a big part into the DEI process. So what I was looking at here recently, they were talking about how the DEI is going to be more so focused on gender related. Whereas, when you go through the process of identifying your gender, let's say when you're applying for a job, or when you choose your gender when it comes to the system, no longer, it sounds like, and this is what it sounds like there would no longer be an option to say cisgender, cis woman, and all this. He said it's going to be only 2 genders listed out, and that's male and female. So this is going to be is the one that everybody has been talking about. So Trump immigration order restores 2017 deportation criteria. One of Trump's more powerful orders on immigration simply restores what was in place when he took office in 2017. Trump wants to end federal grants for sanctuary jurisdictions or states or local government that limit cooperation with immigration authorities. So the White House maintains that sanctuaries are breaking a law that forbids interfering with the federal law enforcement officers. So, yeah, now this one right here will dismantle the whole concept of the sanctuary cities. This is going to be an interesting year. This is going to be an interesting 4 years. Man, so next one is Trump directs Attorney General to help states get lethal injection drugs. Trump has signed a sweeping executive order on the death penalty, directing the Attorney General to take all necessary and lawful action to ensure that states have enough lethal injection drugs to carry out. Man, they trying to. I'm telling y'all, that's all I got right now. This right here is going to be a doozy. This is going to be a doozy. I mean, it's like quiet before the storm because it's been real quiet. I actually did not watch the inauguration today. One, I wasn't in the mood. I really wasn't. I was just out of it. I just got back to town. And then I had a couple of things I needed to take care of that I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I got a chance to kind of watch the recaps of it. And it's going to be quiet before the storm. That's all I got to say. It feels like when he comes in on tomorrow, it's going to be all heck has broken loose. And he's talking about what he's going to do tomorrow. So let's look and see what Trump said he's going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting time. I'll say that much. So I had to get my hair done too. But me and my beautician, who is from Trinidad, was sitting there watching some of the inauguration. And it was just, oh my goodness. Let me see. So hold on, y'all. Trump on tomorrow, so here it is. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. No. Y'all excuse me. I'm moving a little slow today, so bear with me. I'm not just feeling my best, so y'all just keep me lifted. A little out of it. So where is it? I think this is the video. Let's look at this.
President-elect Donald Trump making his first stop in our nation's capital at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, a tradition for incoming presidents and expected to be one constant in the ever-changing inauguration plans. We told you because of the cold weather, Trump will take the oath of office inside the Capitol Rotunda, meaning only some of the thousands of people who traveled will be able to actually see the inauguration in person. News 6's Matt Austin is in Washington, D.C. He talked to other folks making the trip from Central Florida about how their plans could be changing.
It is expected to be the most brutally cold inauguration here in D.C. since Reagan took the oath of office 40 years ago. And because of that, newly minted President Trump will be taking the oath of office right in the Capitol Rotunda behind me. And that has shifted plans for many Central Floridians, some anxious they could be left out in the cold. At Orlando International Airport, it's easy to spot the Central Floridians headed to the inauguration.
We just met at the airport. I found you guys very easily. Tell us what you're doing. Why are you headed to DC?
We're going to Trump's inauguration.
Tina, Laurel, Michelle, and Gina are making the inauguration a girls' trip, but it quickly became complicated.
We have tickets, but that doesn't mean anything at this point. We have tickets for the rally and we have tickets for the inauguration. But according to what we understand, there's 250,000 tickets and only 20,000 seats. So most likely we won't get in, but we're going to give it our best shot.
The Trump campaign announced the inauguration will move inside the Capitol Rotunda because of the cold weather. Afterward, the newly minted president will head to the local.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the video I was shooting for. So hold on. I promise y'all, I am moving slow today. Bear with me. Don't judge me. Anybody want to get in the chat, say be more prepared. Leave me alone. The day is not the day. So let me go straight to the video of his plan. Hold on. Oof. Saints, bear with me. And like I said, anybody got a problem with how I'm doing it, leave me alone. So let me see. Trump's plan. I should have said plan for day one. That's what I was trying to type.
If you're thinking of going back to school to get a new job so you can earn more, don't do it.
All right.
And now to the
Trump's transition. Here we go.
the second inauguration of Donald Trump. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. You're watching Late News tonight. I'm Luke Claren. And as we take a live look at the White House in Washington, D.C., in less than the Capitol, rather, in Washington, D.C., in less than 24 hours, the United States will have a new president. President-elect Donald Trump returns to the White House with an unconventional indoor swearing-in ceremony because of the frigid temperatures in D.C. He otherwise plans to kick off his second term with a stack of executive actions. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details from Capitol Hill.
The stage is set for President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House. After months-long preparations on the National Mall, single-digit temperatures forced Trump's swearing-in ceremony to the Capitol Rotunda. Supporters who made the trip to D.C. will now watch from inside the nearby Capital One Arena.
We were coming to the rally anyway, so I'm excited to be able to see him and support.
I'm ready to have this world turned around, and it's been a long 4 years, and I'm ready.
At the Inauguration Eve rally, Kid Rock and the Village People performed alongside Trump's signature dance, the president-elect then doubling down on a series of campaign promises.
We're all going to be sworn in together.
Top officials tell ABC News Trump plans to take more than 200 executive actions on his first day in office under one document in what they are calling an omnibus executive action.
Oh, you're going to have a lot of fun watching television tomorrow. Somebody said yesterday, sir, don't sign so many in one day. Let's do it over a period of weeks. I said, like hell, we're going to do it over weeks. We're going to sign them at the beginning.
Among the potential declarations, a national emergency on the U.S.-Mexico border, rescinding any DEI or gender-related directives from the Biden administration, and repealing rules on electric vehicles. He's also expected to delay the ban on TikTok by 90 days, a ban Trump supported and acted on 4 years ago. Congress passed the ban into law with bipartisan support, citing national security concerns, and the Supreme Court unanimously upheld the law. The app went dark in the U.S. on Saturday ahead of the ban taking effect. It returned for users hours later with a message thanking Trump.
It's unclear how the TikTok ban will be resolved long term. Its CEO has a front row seat to Trump's swearing-in ceremony at the Capitol. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Christian, thank you. Now from California to Washington, D.C., many traveled across the country to witness the inauguration in person. While the event itself moved indoors, those supporters were still feeling the excitement of being part of a historic moment. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha spoke with a few Californians on how they will take in the historic day.
Changes and modifications are what many supporters face, looking to take in history.
The whole vibe in Washington, D.C. this week has just been amazing.
Through it all, Kimberly Hunt from Elk Grove has made the most of her trip, taking in President-elect Donald Trump's victory rally, even as she, her fiancé, and friends had to wait in line for 9 hours.
Literally had rain, snow, and hail in line. It's just like we went through it all. It's been an iconic time in history.
While she originally planned to attend the swearing-in ceremony, she'll now be watching it from a hotel.
We're all excited about what our future is now.
Meanwhile, Matthew Harmon, the chairman of the Capitol Lincoln Club, is watching the inauguration from the Capital One Arena. He traveled from Rockland, spoke with us overlooking the White House and the Washington Monument, and says despite the changes, he wouldn't have missed it.
And there were other people that backed out once they found out they couldn't attend that inauguration in person. It was be moved. People backed out. I still would have came. Love it.
Harmon is optimistic about the future, both for California and the country. Assemblyman Tom Lackey, who was invited by a member of Congress,
we're very, very excited to witness,
is experiencing his first inauguration in Washington, D.C., as he soaks in the atmosphere and believes the event represents much needed opportunity for Americans to unite.
a lot of difficulties that are surrounding us right now, and we're much stronger and we're much better when we can define ourselves by our common interest.
Despite the unexpected changes, many optimistic about taking in a pivotal time in American history.
I'm so glad we did it.
In a time of division, all three sharing a message of unity, hoping Americans can come together and move forward. Reporting in Sacramento, Garj Paulsunga, ABC 10.
Garshpal, thank you. And ABC 10 will have live coverage starting tomorrow of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I promise y'all, those executive orders, I mean, the show don't start until tomorrow, y'all. I'll be honest. I don't even know I really did live. I want to do the live and talk about the beginning of I'm signing 200 executive orders. He said he ain't finna wait tomorrow. Let the games begin. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. I think these 4 years are gonna be more interesting than the 4 years with his first 4 years. It's gonna be more interesting than his first 4 years. So we have to brace ourselves for what we're about to see. Hold on. We gotta brace ourselves for what we're about to see. It's gonna be interesting. I'll say that much. One of the things I want to see how this DEI is gonna happen in the workplace, because I think it's gonna affect. Well, I'll be honest. Black people never truly benefited from these programs. When you think about it. Think about affirmative action. We never really benefited from it. That's why when they took affirmative action away, we was like, okay, so y'all never really utilized it for us. They utilized it for other communities. And one of the communities is the transgender, the Asian community, the Indian community, all the communities outside of Black people benefited from it. But black people, even going into the DEI process, program, it never really benefited us. But what it did was put a seal of protection on those who are considered to be a part of the transgender community. I think that's going to affect them with the reshaping of the DEI process, where it's no longer going to be in the system anymore. So they try to scare us with that. Oh, we gonna take the DEI. Well, and when did it ever benefit? None of these programs really benefit us. And the border. Y'all, now this is gonna be, I think, the show right here. Y'all, I promise y'all, I'm just bracing myself for what I'm gonna see. There's not really much to talk about. The only thing we're going to talk about is those executive orders. Things are going to probably be much more interesting. We're going to have more to talk about on tomorrow on forward, because that's when he's going to start implementing his policies, and we're going to start seeing the effects of his policies. We're going to see the effects of, and then also the whole child support. Men are celebrating that they don't have to pay child support, or if they pay child support, they get to claim them on taxes. What's interesting is most cases, back to the Black community, child support has always been one of those things that child support didn't benefit. I didn't have any benefits from child support. I never received child support from Madison. Interesting part is when you go in, I want to see how it's going to affect divorces. Because when you are divorced and you are the primary parent, what's going to happen is if men, and see, the pendulum is going to swing both ways. He's going to have to cover child support and ensuring the health insurance, that child is covered in his health insurance, and take full responsibility for the child, and the woman can't claim him on their taxes, which is interesting. I want to see how that's going to work, because again, that means you got full, you doing a thing. Child support is not just monetary, I mean you're gonna get a check. That means covering a lot of things, and I see it being beneficial as well, because it means that men are going to be like, look, I'm paying child support, I'm doing covering them on the health insurance. I look at my expenses when I was fully responsible for Madison when she was younger. Child support would have benefited me more than putting her on my taxes, because maybe I'll get a $3,000 credit, or maybe even I'll probably get like 10. I didn't get that much. I probably got $3,000 to $4,000 from Madison for the child tax credit. But if you paying your child support, let's say a man is ordered to pay $500 a month. Let me see. Which typically that's the normal. So $500 times 12. It's probably gonna be $67,000 they're gonna have to pay out. So $3,000, I'm gonna give it to take, and that's just for $500. If you're required to pay $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 you'll get. Then, not to mention health insurance. You got your kids. That's a part of child support too in some cases, especially if in a divorce decree. When you are fully responsible for paying child support, you have to cover them on your health insurance. So if I had to cover Madison on my health insurance. So my health insurance increased by $150. So I won't say it increased by $100. I think so, times 12. So that's like probably more than that. My health insurance was what, $5,000 by the end of the year. So you cut that in half. That's probably, so you're gonna have to pay a lot of money. So if it's not a big deal, I want to see how this gonna work though. See, I know 2 men who get their children 3+ days a month, maybe 6, and pay $25 a month. Hold on. That's crazy. I ain't never heard child support being $25 a month. $25. Are you serious? I can't tell y'all how much my child support order was but on average, for my daughter, I actually was supposed to get like Memphis has a rule where they look at both incomes and they calculate, if the ex-wife is working and the husband is working, they balance it out to say this is how much child support you get. And I was supposed to get a little bit, quite a bit, because he made more than me. But I never got it, which is fine. I still ended up working and taking care of Madison. But yeah, still, that child support thing is gonna be interesting. I'll leave that alone because that starts a whole nother conversation, open a whole nother can of worms with that. But this is gonna be interesting to see how this presidency works. This right here, young ladies, it should teach these young girls, close it up. Don't be out here doing to do with anybody, because that I ain't gonna talk about that. What? You know what happened right here though? If they're paying just $83 a month, it's gonna make women say, I opt out of the child support. It ain't worth it. So if you're only gonna give me $83, I'm good. You don't have to pay child support, and they'll take full, because $83. Gosh, back in 2008, $83 didn't cover Madison's tuition when she was going to private school. So, no. But with that being said, y'all, this presidency is gonna be very, 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 very interesting. We're gonna see a lot of you're gonna see a lot of infighting. They not gonna agree, and you have a full House where the Republicans run everything from the presidency to the Senate to the House. Everybody is all Republican driven, so it's gonna be quite interesting. So, well, y'all, I'm gonna have to do a lot more content coming up, because I know once it gets started, it's gonna be coming in to the point that I'm gonna be dropping lives at the last minute. It would have been better to do the day after. I might do something tomorrow and see what happened the day after. That being said, I really don't have nothing else left to say. People been asking me what my thoughts are with all the stuff that's been transpiring with Tayo and Kelly. I really don't have anything to say on it. My biggest concern is the individuals over in the continent that are having issues. Those are my concerns. My concern is that. So with that being said, keep those people lifted. I think people are so consumed by conversation of he said this, he said that, he said this, and forgetting about the people that really need our help, and those are the ones that are over in the continent. Dealing with what they're dealing with right now. Going back to the hold on one second. My crew is loud. But the video with Rick and all those people doing it live, and people are crying out saying they're having issues. So with that being said, those are my concerns. And that needs to be the direction to kind of say what's going on over here. So I'm not really going to speak on the other stuff. And I know people are looking for, because I had a couple of people call me and say, what do you think? Doesn't matter what I think. But what I do know is, our people got to be careful when it comes to, and that's just overall when it comes to running and leaving. I got to get out of here. I got to grab my bags and run. Y'all, I'm a firm believer in the Most High will take us there. The Most High has kept us for this long and sustained us for this long. we can't forget that he is going to sustain us wherever we are. And even when you look at the Bible verse says, I will gather you from the four corners of the earth. He didn't say, I'm going to gather you in Africa. I'm going to gather you in just Canada. I'm going to gather you in Zimbabwe. He said, I'm going to gather you from the four corners of the earth. So if he has the power to gather us, we need to look to him and ask for direction. For those who are looking to move there, because they want to move there on their own, yeah. But many people are running out of fear. I said this 2 years ago. I'm not making a move doing nothing in fear. If I do anything, it's going to be by the will of the Most High and whatever he leads me. If I'm here, if I'm Africa, if I'm in, hold on a second. But yeah, he said, he's going to take us there. Great. Yep. So for those that are running there out of fear, Babylon is falling. Babylon is worldwide. Babylon is a system that, have you ever heard in college? The big word was globalization when I was in college. Globalization. Globalization was a term that we used all the time. Hold on. Yeah, globalization was a term we used all the time when I was younger, when I was in college. The reason that it plays into where we are now, it went from countries operating as silo countries, and it made countries become a global network of individuals having the same system, the same environment, functioning under the same beast. So understand that the very thing that we're afraid of, wherever you go, it's going to be there. You got to have faith in the midst of all of this. So with that being said, for those who are running in fear, I can't do that. And you see individuals dealing with some of the repercussions of some running out of fear. Don't ever let a man or a woman, whoever, put that in you to say you got to go. And I'm not saying anybody is saying that, but I am. Some people are saying it. And because of that, people are making decisions that it's not beneficial because they're not walking in the will of the Most High God. When you walk in the will of the Most High, everything will work for you because you are in his perfect will. You're in his perfect will. So running will get you nowhere. My daughter got TV like, hold on. Leaving will get you nowhere. Because whatever's there, whatever's here, is there. And then what I know, some people, and I'm not saying, what's going on now, but just conversations I've had with certain people are, I'm tired of Babylon. Well, why are you tired of Babylon? And when you find out and you really do your due diligence, you find out people are leaving because of some things they've done. I want to deal with the monster that's within them. A great example, Most High had to teach me something here in my journey and in my walk. I was moved from city to city, trying to find my place, running from the very things that was my trauma or my issue. I just didn't want to deal with it. Let me move. But what I found was everywhere I would go, it might be good for a little bit, but the very thing that was within me that I needed to get out of me would surface. And the Most High had to show me, I don't care where you run, you still got to deal with you and some of the things that you've done. you got to look to me and have faith in the midst of this. You got to grow as a believer. So you got to deal with you. When the Most High told me that, I said, Father, I'm staying put. I ain't going nowhere. Help me be what you desire for me to be. And now, in the walk that I'm in now, me and Father walking. It's a journey that I'm going through right now with him. And in that journey, he's every time showing me me. But with that being said, the look to was really going with, and I can't really disclose it. I'm not going to disclose it. But what we got to do is just pray for the people affected by what's going on. I think people are so hyped up about, the infight, y'all fighting. Well, it's a little bit more, to the story that we have to be aware of, and pray for the people that are affected on the other end. And pray that, whatever journey that they're going to, that the Most High protects them and keeps them. So with that being said, pay attention to, what's really going on behind the scenes. Don't allow yourself to be so afraid that you get caught up in a situation where people are telling you you can own land in a country that only allows you to lease the land. Leasing and ownership is different, two different things. And people are running there saying, I'm going to get my land. In some cases, you're dealing with leasing. And we're dealing with leasing. That's just like renting an apartment. That's what happened to some of the people, that there's just a lot. Then you had the whole big thing back to Africa, and they was going to Ghana. And a lot of those people had to turn around and come back because it was a money grab. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful, family, that we don't get caught in a trap because we're afraid. Rather than running, look to him and say, Father, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? I'm not going to get into the whole thing. When I tell you my phone has been ringing off the hook, that's another reason why I don't have a voice when I'm coughing right now. Because every 5 minutes I'm getting a phone call. What do you think, sister? What do you think? Some people I had talked to was angry. And I'm like, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Let the Most High do what the Most High is doing. And you just pray that the Most High is doing a perfect work in the midst of all of us. And that's all that you got to do. Everybody's like, you gotta be prayed up. And what I've noticed is, this is something I was gonna say a couple of months ago, but I didn't. And the Most High been slapping my hand when I'm saying some things. Some of these people have made Africa an idol. They've idolized it. The continent. Where's y'all in the midst of this? So I'm hearing this continent. And people have made this an idol, y'all. They've made an Exodus an idol. He never told us to make this an idol. That's all I'm hearing is second Exodus. I'm waiting for the Father to come get me, period, wherever I am. I'm looking forward to when he's going to take his hand and stretch it to the four corners of the earth and gather us together. That's what I'm preparing for. That's what I'm seeking. But people have made Africa an idol. And we are not to make anything an idol. We're not to make anything an idol. And all the infighting stems from one thing. Let's hurry up and get to the continent. Did he tell you that? Or are you afraid and you're listening to everybody else? One thing I will say, I'm going to stand on business. I'm not going nowhere, period. I'm going to be here in the U.S. until the Father leads me otherwise. Ain't no man going to lead me. Ain't no person going to tell me nothing about running anywhere. Because if you don't deal with yourself on this soil, you're going to go over into that soil and have your own demons that you've been battling with in the U.S. and new demons when you cross over there. So you got to get right with him Everybody talking about they fighting and they arguing. Okay, that's fine. I'm not upset about it. Things like that happen. I pray that righteousness, that people that righteousness comes out of this. And the thing is, hearing that the word agent flying out of their mouth. I'm gonna say this much, y'all. I do. I'm only speaking for him because I know him. I know Pastor Kelly. Been around him, and I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying I know Pastor Kelly. And this whole flying of the word that he's an agent, he's not an agent. I've been to his assembly. I've met his entire family. My daughter is friends with his daughters. I've been to their house, been to their assembly. Y'all, he's not an agent. He's not an agent. He's not an agent. So I want to clear that up. I know him personally, and me and Pastor Kelly talk on a daily basis. Really, I talk to Pastor Kelly, just about every day, because he'll call me, especially with me and him being a part of African Israelite Justice Foundation. I found out that all of us talk every day, not just Pastor Kelly. I talk to Apostle, I talk to Night, I talk to everybody just about every day. Because one, we're trying to get this event together, but we talk a lot. And we talk a lot. So with that being said, there's a lot of interaction. There are a couple of incidents where people don't know some of the stuff that he's done on the side. Somebody in our community did not want their kids to end up getting caught up with the shot. The shot. He wrote them a letter. Wrote the school system a letter saying, due to religious beliefs, protected them from getting the shot. I'm only saying this because, again, Asian flies too much. He's not an agent. He's not an agent. I'm not an agent. I'm not. And people say, "Oh, so see, you saying his name, you taking his side." I'm not of the Most High God. Again, I'm redirecting my focus on the individuals impacted. People are forgetting that. We too busy trying to talk about the continent, and it's a whole other set of things going on across that soil. But people are hurting in our community. They forget about that. People are hurting. People are saying they money coming up short. And this is what I got from when I was on the panel with Rick. I'm only speaking from what I saw with the panel on Rick with all this stuff happening. People are forgetting that. They even said, "The hell with them." Excuse my language. I know Pastor Kelly said no cussing, but they said, "The hell with them. Let's go to the continent." And they telling y'all, "Look, y'all, something going on." You don't want to see that. I'm the type of person. I'll be like, well, they say some stuff going down. I'm going to look into it. You can't do anything blindly. People operating blindly, just running. Sometimes my dad used to always say, "Girl, you better stop running with your eyes closed before you run into a brick wall." And that's what happens. People are running with their eyes closed. And you're going to run into a brick wall. And sometimes that brick wall is you. Sometimes it is you run. Some people are running from themselves. So a lot of people are running. I've heard people say, "I'm going to Costa Rica." I heard some people say, "I'm going to Africa." I've heard people say, "I'm going to all over." What did y'all say? Ask yourself that question. What did y'all say? This ain't brand new information, y'all, coming from me. I'm not with the whole back to the continent stuff out of fear because we're in Babylon and Babylon is falling. Babylon is an entire system that's the world. The whole world is Babylon now. This Babylon is greater than the Babylon that we read in the Bible that was during the earlier days in Israel. This Babylon is just a system. And wherever you go, you're going to face Babylon. You got in Africa. China and Russia and India and all those other countries still got their hand in Africa. They ain't letting it go. They ain't letting it go. The colonizer is all over the world. Ain't nobody afraid of the colonizer. But what I'm saying is, wherever you go, you gonna meet them wherever they go. This is why the Most High said, I gotta gather you from the four corners, the four winds of the earth. I'm gathering you. And that's what I'm waiting on. So don't get distracted by the other stuff that's going on, because I'm hearing people talk about, DNA and all that. And I'm like, I don't give a hoot. What about the people over there screaming and crying out? It was on Pastor Rick's channel, screaming out, saying, help me. People missed it. And I'm sitting there listening, and I said, Israel, have you become so deaf because you're so focused on what's going on in front of you that you're not hearing people saying, help me? People are literally screaming to us, help me. We are stuck in a situation right now. That's who I'm looking at right now to say, what's going on with that? Like I said, I'm really not gonna get into the semantics, of other things, but you got people that are crying out in our community, family. Are we hearing their cries? Are we so selfish? And I'm just finna say this. Are we so selfish that we're ignoring them because we're all about we going? I'm going to the continent. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying right here. And I'm going to trust in the Most High Yah. That's who I'm trusting. I ain't trusting nothing outside of that. And again, our people have made a place an idol. Y'all, some of these folk have made Africa an idol. I've heard Africa, and I ain't heard them say Yah one time. I ain't heard them say God one time. But we got to get to the continent. The continent, we're going to be able to be at peace. The continent, we're going to be at rest. The continent is, your peace is within Him. My peace is within the Most High God. Wherever I lay my head, if He's with me, I'm good. But we've made this continent such an idol that some people are screaming and saying, help me, y'all, help. Y'all didn't say that. I don't want to hear what y'all got to say. Are we going to mute their voices? I don't really listen to them. Are we going to really listen to them? That's who I'm listening to. The rest of this stuff don't mean anything to me. Catholic, whatever. But what I'm looking at are people asking for Yasharel to help them. And if they are truly asking for help and we turn our backs on them, the blood is on our hands as a community. If we ignore their cries because we're looking for our own selfish gain and we've made a continent an idol, the blood is on our hands. Those people are really hurting, the ones that are on Pastor Rick's channel, that are really hurting. And we have ignored their cries because of our own perception. Blood gonna be on our hands. Blood ain't finna be on my hands. Some of us are missing the big picture. Some of us are missing the big picture. We are to see to the elderly. We are to see to the orphan. We are to see to the widow. Those are the ones we're supposed to see to. And what sickens me the most about Yasharel is nobody has asked, how are those people doing that was on Rick's channel? Are they still there? How are they holding up? Y'all ignored their cries. Y'all don't care. Some of them don't care nothing about their cries. It doesn't matter to them. I'm just worried about getting back to Africa. Okay. You'll walk straight. You will go straight from the pot to the frying pan, baby. you'll go straight into the frying pan. I'm gonna read something to y'all. So I'm looking at Matthew 18:6. It says, and I'm going to read the KJV version of it because most people are KJV driven. But who shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me? It's better for him that a millstone be hung about his neck and that he were to drown in the deep sea. You say any, and people say, oh, those are little children. He's talking, I really believe that scripture means for any of his people, the little ones, his people that believe in him. You redirect them if you might as well put a millstone around your neck and drown yourself. I'm not looking to make friends or keep friends. I'm looking to please the Most High God. Stand firm on that. Because my goal is when he sees me, he says, good and faithful servant. Every single time he sees me, I want him to say, I want it to fall out of his mouth, good and faithful servant. That's my goal. And if we close our ears to people that are making some of these statements and asking questions, and some of the people that were crying out, like I said on Pastor Rick's channel, we close our ears to that because we're trying to protect some other people. Yashareel, what is going on with y'all? You can't say nothing to me about unity and coming together. You got people over there screaming and saying, help me. We have to protect the innocent. We have to protect the young. We have to protect the elderly. They're saying, help me. I need y'all's help. Hear my voice. That ain't the voice. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to hear, come on back to the continent. It's just a blessing and it's a good place here. You just happy. But y'all don't want to hear the other side of the story. Yashareel. Some of y'all are acting like the Israel in the Bible. I hate to say it. Some of y'all are acting like them right now. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And again, people don't like what I'm saying. Unsubscribe today. I will stand with 3 people as subscribers and I have a live and it can be me by myself talking. I'll be at peace with it. I'll be at peace with it. Because my goal is to please the Most High God, not people. Some of y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves. Some of y'all ain't even thought about those people. And I know some people are listening to me and I really don't care at all. I'd be ashamed of yourselves. Oh, Pastor Kelly's video. Oh, Teo's video. Man, look, y'all. It is what it is. I can't change what's going on. But what I will say, ain't nobody said nothing about those folks. Ain't nobody said nothing about them. In fact, some have tagged them as liars and you can't trust them. Do we really think that they liars? Have you done your due diligence to look into the matter to make sure that it's not true, or you just running with it? I'm not running with anything. I'm asking the Most High to make sure that truth prevails and people are in a safe space, in a safe place. I can't do it no more. I just can't do it. I've gotten too old, and the Most High is really dealing with me on me and in my walk with Him. Again, we are making a place an idol. People, y'all might as well say it like that. The new golden calf amongst Israel is Africa. I said it. Don't care. Africa's y'all's new gold. Some of y'all's new golden calf. Y'all don't want to hear y'all. Y'all want to keep looking to the continent. Just like the children of Israel. Moses came down with the commandments. These niggas over here worshiping a calf, a golden calf. Y'all literally made that place y'all new golden calf. Y'all made Africa an idol. Y'all are so fixated with that. And I've heard people say, most people who don't, I've had people accuse me that I don't like Africa. I don't dislike Africa. But I'm not making that. I'm just like, I'm not. Y'all talk about how Gentiles make America their idol. Stop saying that. Because Israel has now made Africa their idol. I said it. Unsubscribe. Y'all don't need to talk about the Americans and the Gentiles. Because some of y'all are doing the exact same thing as them. Oh, that idol is getting. They've made this country their idol. Okay. You're making Africa an idol. And anybody that goes against the Africa concept is not an agent. I don't agree with it. I don't agree in the second Exodus. And I've said this. I believe in the gathering of his people. And I think in some cases they are the same thing. They are the same thing. Because guess what? When he gathers us, it's going to be a mass exodus out of here. People don't hear that. But the new golden calf amongst Israel is this place. That y'all close y'all ears to people saying, help me, I'm hurting. Help me, I'm hurting. He's saying Exodus. He's saying gathering. Y'all are acting like Israel in the Bible. It sickens me to see this. It really does. There are days I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. I'm a big. Now you're going to have a video about you. Let me tell you something. One thing I made from a different cloth. Make a video about me. I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to watch the video and eat popcorn. And say something in the comment section. I'm ignorant like that. I don't care. Y'all niggas saying nothing about me. But yet it's still, and that goes across the board. If it be, because I heard foolishness going on. Branch, I'm seeing foolishness going on. Man, look, let me tell y'all something. Most High is going to look at me and say, what did you do? But what I'm going to do is say, Israel, stop making that place your idol. Turn to the Most High and say, Most High, what you really want me to do? And wait on him. And see what he says. Some of y'all would be hurt if he says, don't go there, stay here. Some of y'all will probably argue with him and pack your bags and go. And then can't understand why you were distressed while you over there. Everybody's an agent that does not want to go to Africa because they don't like Africa. I guess I'm an agent because I'm not going over there. I guess I'm an agent because I say that I look at it as a gathering more so than a second Exodus. I see them correlating with one another, but I don't see him saying a man is going to take us over into Africa where we can be protected. It says that he is going to be our tech protector. He going to take us over there. I ain't heard nobody tell me where Christ, that when at the time of Moses, he had people over there surveying the land and saying, well, the land is going to cost us $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, or pay me $4,000 and I'll survey the land for you. Or ain't no male Moses walking around here, y'all. There is no Moses. Christ is our representation. And it's not just Teo Ministries. And it's not just Pastor Kelly I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anybody. I'm talking about in general. I heard some of y'all making a man Moses to y'all. Israel, y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better. The very thing that he warned us of, y'all doing. And I'm sitting here shocked like, past 5 years have been in vain. Because ain't nobody listening to nobody. If you don't agree with me, you're an agent. Y'all done made men y'all idols. Y'all done made a country y'all idol. I ain't finna make nail person an idol. All of us, from myself to to Apostle Curtis, to Pastor Kelly, to Douglas, to Apostle Carl, to all of us, to Benaiah Israel, to Ron Shields, every single one of us. We are men and we do, or men and women, and we have flaws. None of us are God. None of us are y'all. None of us are y'all. So people have literally made men their idols and made that country their idol. Y'all, we got to do better. We got to do better. Y'all's new. I don't want to hear nobody say the Gentiles, America is their idol and they fallen. But yet and still we've made y'all have made Africa y'all idol. Look at the pot calling the kettle black. Some of y'all so wound up about the continent that y'all ain't even hearing y'all. Y'all said they ain't, you know what? I said they ain't even hearing me. They got their ears closed. They got their ears closed. They don't want to hear me. They want to hear the feel good. The feel good is pack up and leave and go to Africa. And it's just going to be just, no, it's not, y'all. People running back, screaming from Africa, saying, don't go. It ain't what you think it is. It ain't what you think it is. But y'all want to close y'all ears. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all ignore all the people that's telling you the cons, but y'all searching for the people to tell you the pros of going over there. Do your due diligence and research. I bet y'all didn't know that some of these African countries do not allow you to own land. You only can lease it. Some of y'all don't know that, do you? And the ones that do know it and they still going over there, I'm like, what sense does that make? Because that means that at any point in time, they can take that land from you. Some people are, y'all, I'm shaking my head right now. I'm shaking my head right now. Because it sickens me right now. We totally forgot about the people that are screaming saying, help me. In fact, some of y'all done already deemed them as liars. And I saw an elderly woman up there. I ain't seen no young woman. When I saw the Pastor Rick thing, I saw an older woman that looked like my mom's age. But because she's fighting against your narrative, she's been called a liar. Question is real. What if she's not a liar? What if she's telling y'all the truth? What then? Y'all have literally closed y'all ears and said, I don't want to listen to nothing they got to say because they liars. Because I'm going to the continent. I don't want to hear nobody else come to me about the continent. Continent is not going to save you. Continent is not going to hide you from what's going to happen in the last days. Continent ain't going to do that. But the Most High will. That's who I want in the last days. I can be in the middle of a war, watching it go down. But if I know I have him covering me, all is well. Some of y'all need to turn some of y'all need to go back to y'all and get quiet for a minute and pray and ask him to reveal to you what you're supposed to be doing. I bet some of these people ain't even sat down and talked to y'all about it because they're afraid of what his answer is going to be. Afraid of what his answer going to be. I'm looking into I want to look into the other matter. I want to know what's going on with the people that was on Pastor Rick show. That's who I want to know what's going on with them. How are they doing? Are they good? Are they eating? Are they getting medical attention? Are they getting what they need? Oh, no. Y'all want to go and argue and scream about gathering versus the Exodus. He is just an agent. And everybody's an agent. Y'all understand this. If Pastor Kelly was an agent, he wouldn't be moving like he's moving now. An agent is so well hidden to the point by the time you figure out he's an agent, the work is already done. Agents don't operate like that. But anytime I'm an agent, probably the way y'all looking at me now, because I'm not going with this whole Africa kid. She an agent too. Okay, that's fine. I can be that. I really, at this point, don't care. But I'm not going to sit here and call somebody just to agree with the group that he's an agent. I know him. I know him well. We have disagreements. We don't agree on everything. I agree with Teo on everything. I don't agree with Dante on everything. I don't agree with Benaiah. Paul Benaiah, when we first started doing this African Israelite Justice, when I tell you I would call that Pope brother every other day about something and be frustrated and be like, I don't agree with that. You know what? But guess what? I felt comfortable enough to be honest. You don't have to agree with me at all. But the moment I disagree with you, come on, y'all. Everybody's not an agent. I'm just going to be honest. Some people are just trying to warn people. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get into the semantics of all this arguing, going back and forth. I'm not. But people miss the tail end of that when it was talking about how some people are having a rough time over there. Y'all don't give a who almost cussed. Y'all don't care nothing about them. Why? They liars. How you know they liars? Have you looked into it? Or because they don't feed into your narrative, it's easy to call them a liar. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all don't even see the writing on the wall with some of this stuff because y'all so. I'm just y'all. I promise y'all, some of these folks have frustrated me. Yeah, some of these folks have frustrated me. Y'all made that place an idol. So Yasharel, for those who are so in love with Africa, don't say nothing else about America idolizing Gentiles idolizing America. Because Israel right now is idolizing Africa. Everyone got videos like that. Take them on down. Statue of Liberty idols. Y'all might as well take that video down. I see that number dropping. Don't care. Because my number dropping. People leaving because I'm not saying, oh, I love it. I ain't finna make no place no idol. Because he finna destroy and clean house in every area of the world. Every area. People forget. Every nation, including Africa, had a hand in our captivity. Oops, did I say that? Did I say that? Did I say that some of the people over in that continent was catching us and making deals with the Portuguese, and then later on affected them, like the Dahomey, that later on affected them down the line, and they said, wait a minute, we did a bad thing. But every nation, including Africa, had a hand in our captivity. Did I say that? Oops, let that number drop some more. Did I say that? Yep, some of them had a hand in it. Y'all running over there saying, oh, that's that land of, some of y'all act like that's a land of milk and honey. I want to be with him. I want to be in Zion with him. I don't want to be over there. I'm good on that. Now, I say I dislike Africa. I don't dislike Africa. I don't. But I dislike what my community is doing right now. Y'all made their place an idol. When y'all move, he finna judge every place. It will be nowhere to hide. Yes, take me to the New Jerusalem. That's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. I don't want to go to Africa. I'm sorry. It's enough being over here. I don't want to go there. Take me to New Jerusalem. I want to go be with him in Zion. That ain't business. I don't want to run with people and end up in a frying pan. I'm good. Go from the what they call it, from the pot to the frying pan. I don't want to do that. I want to be with him. I want to be with him. But we cannot allow ourselves. We cannot allow ourselves to get to a place that we forget there are some other people on the side of these conversations, and on the other side of these, the reason why some of these people are. Pray for them. Pray for them. I've heard people call some of the people that was on Rick's channel liars. And I sat there and I saw, because I was watching it, and y'all remember, I ain't talking about, I'm going to tell you something, I'm not talking about what everybody's been talking about. I was sitting there watching it. And I'm watching people say, I lost money. And then y'all forgot about it. I ain't forgetting about it. I can't forget about it. Because that could be, the older lady that was sitting, I think it was the first one that was with Rick. There was a couple of them, but that could have been my mama. That could have been my mama. And if my mama would have been up there talking about she lost $15,000 and people said $20,000, oh, she's a liar. Baby, it would be, I will lose it. That's what I see. That's what I see. I see older people just trying to find a place to be at peace. They looking for our people to help them. And y'all don't care. Some of these people don't care. And I think that's the most hurtful part of it. They're forgetting about them. It's real, we forgetting about them. Because I'm going to put my hand in my ears and go, la, 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 la. You're not talking that Africa is the milk and honey. La, 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 la. I can eat mangoes and eat peaches and apples and orange. La, 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 la. Y'all not listening to that. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear the cries of the individuals that are dealing with this. But you're told, y'all know I had to catch my words. That's what I'm looking to, because I'm going to tell you this, and I said it in the chat, and I'm saying it on business and say it again. If that was my mother that was up there saying to some folks and gave the money back, oh, yeah, I'll shake it out of them. I'll be on my way. I'll be on a good old plane. You're going to give me my mama's money. One way or another, you won't give me my mama's money. Baby, I had to breathe, because it can't be my mama. Can't be my mama. Woo! Jesus, I just had to, I got a little mad right there just thinking about it. I had to catch myself. What are you doing? Baby, it'll be smoking the daggum city if I found out that was my mama. Sitting up there, and then I'm seeing people say, you're a liar. Y'all sound like, some of them sound like them ninjas that was in the courthouse where Jesus say, give us Barabbas. This is what y'all sound like. That's it. Because, let me watch that. Ain't nobody talked about them, though. Ain't nobody talked about them. Y'all forgot about them. They're a mute point. Y'all too busy arguing about gathering versus Exodus. And you got people over there hurting. I don't care about what nobody said about me. Like I said, unsubscribe. Because this is not go back to the continent channel. I'm here for my people that are here. They're so worried about going back to the continent. But what about the elderly? I've heard people say, well, what about the elderly? When they go back to the ones that can't go back to the continent. I've heard people say, well, they're going to die. Some saints got to die. What? So forget the elderly. If you hear a man say that, run. Forget the elderly that can't go over into the continent. Just worry about yourself. Selfish. My mom has COPD and no oxygen. So I'm supposed to say, let me get my bag, mom, run to Africa because the world come to the end. Thank you for putting 48 years of loving and training me and taking care of me and feeding me and seeing to me. Thank you, Mom. But I'm finna grab this good old backpack. I'm finna run to Africa and I'm going to leave you here to suffer because you can't take care. You can't make the trip because you sick. How dare you? Ooh, y'all done made myself mad on that one. I got to stop. I done made myself mad on that one. Some people are, let me say, because just leave him here. Somebody gotta die. I've heard that. Some people gotta burn. What? Some of these folks will leave their mama here and won't care. I heard people say it. I'll leave them here. But you call yourself having the heart of Yasharel. When one of the things he told us, he said, see to the orphans, see to the widow, see to the older people. And y'all telling them, I'm throwing them tools up at you old people. You can't do it. Throw them tools. I don't really give them what Negroes think about me. I really don't. I really don't. At this point in life, the way the Most High been dealing with me, yeah, I don't care. Because I got to answer to him. I ain't got to answer to nobody. I ain't got to answer to nobody. I got to answer to him. If I stand and say, let's ignore these people, that's why I've never been. And y'all, this ain't new information. Let me clear this up. It ain't new information that I'm not team go back to Africa. Team go back to the continent. Everybody knows that about me. Let me narrate and scream from the back room. I'm not that. I'm team have faith in the Most High God. That's who I am. My faith don't lie within what y'all don't even understand how exhausted I am with some of these folks. Is with Israel right now. I'm so exhausted. Everything that we all have done in the past 5-7 years is just down the toilet pretty much with some people. Because everything has led to loving your people. You love your people, but you're gonna leave some of the elderly people here because they can't make the trip. Is that how y'all works? Is that how the Most High works? He gonna take us, but leave the pioneers and leave the Emas here. No. You gotta be heartless to do that. Some people probably do that in Yasharel. Some people in Yasharel will leave their children behind. That's scary. Leave their husbands behind, their wives behind. Leave to go back to the continent. Man, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all too busy worrying about somebody's an agent, or some of us are saying, hey, and he's saying the same thing. Hey, y'all, something going over there across the pond. Because if you look at the end of that video, that was one of the points that he brought up. Hold on. Yeah. My daughter walked in her room. Yeah, I can't. I just can't. Everybody trying to, they talking about this. They talking. There are a group of people y'all forgot about that was on Pastor Rich show. Y'all forgot about them. Y'all forgot about them. Y'all don't care about them. Y'all care about your who's right, who's an agent, and all of us are simply saying something's going on across the pond, and our people are impacted by it. I've seen more people campaign to go back to Africa and ignore our people that are impacted by hurricanes over here. I said, we're doing all this campaigning and sending equipment across the pond over here, and we just had a tornado and another within the U.S. and some of Yasharel got impacted by it. But the continent, y'all made an idol of that place. Y'all made an idol of it. But y'all, I'm not gonna stay here long. And I know after I do this, I'm gonna probably get some phone calls. At this point, I don't care. I'm gonna leave it right there that I am concerned about the people that are over across the pond. Then what's going on with who you don't believe in Exodus, you're an agent. You don't believe in this, you're an agent. Okay, I'm an agent then. I guess I'm Agent Ellison. That's fine, which I'm not. But it is what it is. And I keep on walking. So I really wasn't thinking about going here, but every single time, Agent Nikki, right? I really was trying to do day one exchange of power, but the Most High just kept, Holy Spirit just kept tapping me on my shoulder. That ain't the message I told you to talk about. Because I promise you, every single video I was trying to get, I couldn't find nothing to play for y'all. Couldn't find nothing to play for y'all. I kept saying, I ain't finna say nothing. I'm not saying a word. I've heard people say, don't get in it. So ignore. So what you mean? Stay out of it and ignore that people are crying over there saying, hey, y'all, I've lost tens of thousands of dollars because I want to keep the peace. We need to unify. Don't talk about unity with me when you ain't cared about your brother and sister that's over there. I don't want to talk about your fake unity. That's fake unity. That's fake unity. That you got people over there saying, I'm trying to get home. They liars because they don't agree with T3, all these other folks, and they don't agree with Ron. They don't agree with all those folks. No, that ain't how I do things, y'all. That ain't how I do things. So this whole thing of we need to unify is fake unity. That's fake unity in my eyes. Because again, you're not unified enough to ask yourself, what's it really? How are the people? How are the people that Pastor Rick? Ain't nobody asked that question. I'm so shocked. Ain't nobody asked that question. How are the people doing that was on Rick's channel? Ain't nobody said that. Have y'all noticed y'all ain't, some of these folks ain't said nothing about them. And then some folks are accusing them of being liars and haven't even done your due diligence to see if they lying or not. Don't care nothing about them. Don't mean nothing to you. Because you're too busy, knee deep in trying to figure out how to get out of Babylon. Don't realize Babylon is in Africa. Babylon is in Asia. Babylon is in Europe. Babylon is in America. North America. Babylon is in South America. Babylon is even in Greenland. Babylon is in the North and South Pole. Babylon is now pretty much a world. As Israel stretched across the four corners of the earth, so did Babylon. Woo! So, for those that don't agree with me, so be it. But I'm not getting into that part that y'all want me to get into. But I am going to get into the other part of it. Have y'all thought about those folks? Or have you thought about yourself? Israel, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves if you have not done your due diligence. If you haven't done your due diligence. Some of y'all ain't did y'all due diligence. Look into it. Figure out how they doing it. Go reach out to Pastor Rick and ask him, hey, how are those people doing? You can reach out to them on your channel and bring them on. So you know how to get in touch with them. Hey, how are they doing? Because for them to reach out for Pastor Rick to do that live. That means that they're accessible. Find out Pastor Rick, ask them, hey, what's their names? I haven't done it because I ain't gonna say I haven't done it, but what we're doing. I'm not gonna leave it right there. But reach out to Pastor Rick and say, hey, Pastor Rick, have you checked on them? On those people that said that they lost their money and they stuck over there in the eco village. Ain't nobody asked that question. The ones that was sitting up their own pastor. But that's what kills me. I've yet to hear people say, let me reach out to Pastor Rick and check and see how these folks are doing. Yeah, Aerospike, some of y'all not familiar with them, but a lot of people are. Y'all came in and huddled at the live and watched them people, and y'all just watched it and then cut it off and walked away. Y'all know how to get in touch with Pastor Rick. Some of y'all are Facebook friends with him. Ping them in the chat. Say, hey, do you know how to get in touch with some of those people? Or have you checked to see how they were doing? How are they hanging up? How are they hanging on in there? Are things working out for them? I want to give them a blessing. None of y'all did that. I said it, and I mean it. Because that's what I want to know. But for those who are dating and trying to figure out how they're doing, praise the Most High. I'm a ping Pastor Rick myself. Hey, have you heard from the people to see how they were doing? So, thank you, Aerospike. I gotta be obedient. But yeah, I'm getting ready to close this live. But the people that's pissed off about what I said, that's fine. You'll get over it. I'm not answering my phone tonight because I've been answering my phone all day. So please don't call me because I'm going to bed after this. I'm just not here for it. So, all right. Yasharel, we got to do better. We got to do better. Don't be fans of us because we're humans. Some of y'all, let me stop right here real quick because I'm not finna go. Some of y'all have made some of us y'all are made some of us superheroes. And y'all act like y'all some. Don't idolize any of us. We ain't doing this to get fans. Y'all gotta stop with this. Man, I'm finna go. Because it's a whole bunch of other stuff I can fuss about. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I can fuss about. But Israel, you gotta do better. Gotta do better. Pray for the people that are impacted on the other side of the pond. Pray for them. Because those are the ones that need the prayer. The ones, like I said, ain't nobody reached out to anybody that's on Pastor Rick's panel. Ask them how they doing. Well, I'm getting ready to go. Y'all. I'm finna go to bed. But thank y'all so much for watching me. Again, I'm going to bed. That means I'm finna shut my phone off. I don't want to talk to nobody. I had to talk to enough people today. Save the phone call for another day. Not right now, because I already don't have a voice from people calling all day. But I'll talk to y'all later on this week. May the Most High bless you and keep you. Yashriel, get it together. Y'all get it together. All right. Much love. Y'all bless.
All different type of information every week. Let me speak. If you subscribe, we go